He also wrote an article about the Deshaun Watson trade. Questions remain, pressure mounts. Take us through just that whole article.
Yeah, I just thought it was worth revisiting. It's been a year, right? That Saturday was a year since that trade went down. I'm sure you remember it was late Friday afternoon. We had assumed that it wasn't going to happen because Watson had come out the day before, or somebody with Watson's camp came out the day before and ruled out the Browns. So I think there's a collective, at least from some people, a sigh of relief because they didn't want to inherit all the baggage that Watson was going to bring with all the off-field stuff. And then all of a sudden it changes on Friday. It changes because the Browns offered to give him the fully guaranteed contract, right, which is unprecedented. It's still unprecedented. It's creating some issues across the league, especially in Baltimore. So, there's so many layers to the Watson acquisition. And we've already talked about the off-field stuff for a year, and that stuff has started to fade away just because the way life is. But what remains is the question of, will he return to the player he was in 2020 when he was a Pro Bowler for the Texans, when he led the league in yardage and yards per completion, yards per attempt? And we didn't see that in the 6 games a year ago, right? And if he doesn't become that player again, then the trade's not going to be successful. In fact, it's going to be a bust, and it probably leads to firings across the organization because the Browns went all in on Deshaun Watson. And if he doesn't play like a top 5 quarterback, and if he can't play on the same level or near the same level as Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and all the other quarterbacks in the AFC, right? Herbert and Lawrence and Aaron Rodgers is coming, right? I mean, the list just gets longer and longer. If he doesn't play like that kind of guy, then I don't think the Browns can compete in the stacked AFC. And that's why, to me, the questions are yet unanswered. Can he become that guy again? And can he do it with all the pressure on him?
Yeah, and you're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. If he cannot, we're going to have a new head coach. You may have a new GM, and it's, all over. You're rebuilding from scratch because it'll be a new system and new players, and you'll tear everything down without question.